Hello, everyone. Insights presents the Claflin Athletic Show, sponsored by Tony T. Chrysler Dodge Ram of Orangeburg, South Carolina. In today's edition, we're going to give you some insight into the men's basketball program at Claflin University. And with me today, the head men's basketball coach, Coach Dunlap. Coach Dunlap, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Absolutely, Coach. You know, I tell everybody, basketball is what I started with. So now it's getting into that time of the year that I really love. We're getting through football and getting up hoops time.
That's right.
Tell me, Coach, how you ended up in basketball?
Actually, the funny thing, the segue off of what you just said, I was a football player first. That was my first love. And then basketball was actually my second sport that I was able to play. Organized basketball when I was younger didn't start until I was 7. So I was able to play football like ankle biters and stuff when I was 6. So that kind of changed it. So then got into basketball. I was born in Charlotte, North Carolina, but I was raised in Woodbridge, Virginia, metropolitan area, suburb right outside DC. And so got into basketball, loved it. So played football and basketball all through elementary school, middle school, and high school. Was fortunate enough that, you know, God blessed me with enough talent, and a coach took a chance on me where I played at Old Dominion University. So then I played there for 4 years. Was able to go to a couple of NCAA tournaments, had a great experience. And then toward the latter part of my college career, you know, I had aspirations for going to play overseas, go make some money. My high school coach asked me to come back and be an assistant for him. I didn't want to coach. I knew how I was as a player, and I loved playing the game, and I felt I had so much left to play, so much more playing days in me, and I wasn't ready to give that up. And you know, he said to me, he's like, if you come home, be my assistant, and if you get an opportunity to go play overseas, then by all means go. But I want you to be a part of this. I think you will enjoy it. But I didn't really like it at first. Reason being, my head coach and the assistants that were on that staff, you know, me being a younger guy and just graduated from college, I didn't feel like I could bring anything to the table because they were so much older and wiser and more knowledgeable, and they had been around the game longer. And then coach just one day sat me to the side and told me, hey, I didn't bring you here to sit. Like he felt that I had a lot of knowledge that I can apply to the program and the team that he was coaching. So one day it just so happened that he and a few of the assistants went on a scouting trip to go scout a team that we were supposed to play, and left me to run practice. So, you know, so then the connection I had already had with the players, you know, just being a former player at that high school, because it was my alma mater, and I would go back and have a relationship with those guys. So that wasn't the hard part. It was just, did I know how to communicate what I had been taught from my coaches and over the years, and can I apply that and teach that to those young men at that time? And once I saw that they were receiving what I was giving and they were comprehending and trying to apply, you know, it felt good. And then I just happened to just stick with it. And I was coaching in high school for 5 years. And then I got into college coaching around 2000. And so I've been in college coach ever since. You know, it's been a joy to be able to help grow and learn, and also teach young adults and see their path and be a part of their journey, and teaching them a game of basketball that we play when we're young, but also just really just trying to help them with life.
Coach, you said a couple things. There's several layers in what you said, but one of them being that you had a coach who saw things in you that you didn't see yourself.
100%. And that's one thing that not only did I've learned from him, but of course from my mother as well. You know, she was an educator, and sometimes we don't understand it when we're in it, but when we're outside of it, or we become kind of in their shoes, then we can kind of see the lessons that they tried to teach us, and we can reflect back on the lessons that how we used them when they were while they were teaching us, and then now we try to apply that and give that on to others as well.
Well, share with us, since basketball and coaching was not in your occupational goals, but what were you in college studying while you were at Old Dominion?
I was an accounting major at first. And then I ended up switching my major to human services counseling. So I guess that was my path. I guess the man upstairs told me to go in this direction so then I could use those skills and tools that I learned with my counseling degree and apply that. As you know, as a former coach, we wear many hats. And one of the hats that we wear is of a psychologist, of a counselor, so many different things. And I believe that that has helped me in my growth, just learning from my players, just listening to them, listening from my assistants. I've been an assistant, being able to give suggestions and listen to the head coaches that I've been under and been around. So I think it all worked itself out and it all happened for a reason, just like anything else in life.
Well, let's talk a little bit about basketball. What is the style of play that you want to implement or bring to your program at Claflin?
Well, we want to get after you. We want to pick you up the entire floor, the entire game. You know, we just want to apply pressure, and we want to try to make you uncomfortable. As a former point guard, that was the thing that I would say annoyed me the most, when it was just someone there all the time, pick me up, be there in front of you. You know, he didn't give any breathing room, didn't let you relax, didn't let you get comfortable. And so I felt that would wear people down, and it wore me down at times. And then I played the same way in high school. Like, we tried to wear people down with just keep coming at you, keep coming at you, keep coming at you. And you know, the more aggressive team usually wins, and the more aggressive team usually gets the call. So we just want to be an attacking type of team, just have a toughness mindset about us, and just try to wear people down, not only defensively, but wear you down offensively as well. I believe that if I'm a player's coach in a sense, I want you to play. I want you to do what you do well. And our job as coaches, I believe, is to make sure we um, make you comfortable in your strengths, and then try to hide your weaknesses so then we can work on those in the off season. During the season is not the time to prove what my weaknesses are. It's about to stay with my strengths. So we try to do that. And like I said, we just want to make it attacking and fun, and hopefully that it's enjoyable to the eye and pleasing to the eye for the fans to watch and to be a part of. We think they can galvanize behind that and be the six-man force, and be some extra energy, not only at home, but you know, hopefully they travel on the road too, and come to our games and be that six-man on the road as well. And hopefully they will appreciate our style and the effort and the hard work that our young men are putting into playing in that way.
Well, Coach, you played it, not played, but you were on the staff at Winston-Salem State for a year.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us what you already know about the CIAA that's going to help you make this transition.
Tough conference, very tough. A number of great coaches. It all except for the 4 new coming coaches. I believe the remaining 8 coaches have won a CIAA championship, and a few, if I'm not mistaken, have won multiples. So you know, you're walking into a situation where you have to be prepared. There's going to be great coaching, great games, in and day out. The teams are going to be prepared. They're going to be ready to play. So you have to make sure that you're on point. About your approach and how you prepare to make sure your guys are ready. The environments can be really tough. Being in Winston, I understand how tough it is to be there. The environment that's there, as well as the other universities in the CIAA. And then also know that have an opportunity being in the CIAA tournament. You know, it's one of the best and most prestigious postseason tournaments there is in college basketball, period.
Yes,
no matter the level.
Yes,
and it's an honor, and it's very I'm very blessed to be a part of this conference and be a part of this opportunity.
Well, you said something again, dual purpose, when you talked about the 8 remaining coaches have all won CIAA tournaments. Do I need to make that connection in terms of longevity, Coach?
Hey, my job is to try to make sure these kids get their degrees, and then on top of it, try to help them win some championships, and hopefully we can bring a championship to Claflin.
Well, you said something about helping them get the degrees, and one of the things that I keep discovering every time I turn around is the fine academic tradition at Claflin. Would you want to speak a little bit on that?
Yeah, we are a very prestigious academic institution, and our kids understand, and our student athletes, I should say, understand when they come here that they know that they have to be on point in the classroom as well as on and off the courts as well, on and off the fields. And I believe that gives a great balance. I believe the previous administration did a really good job of branding and making sure that the academics of Claflin is where it is now. And with the new administration, we're trying to have that balance too, where our athletics will match and compete with our academics. And so then we can have the best of both worlds, because at the end of the day, we're student athletes. We're coaching student athletes, and they're going to walk out here with a prestigious degree and a great experience of playing any program they play here with Claflin, no matter what the sport is, and hopefully walk out with a degree in one hand and a ring on the other hand, with a championship ring and being a part of history.
Thank you. That's a good piece there. And one of the things that I really like is the inclusion of student athletes in these interviews. And you have a young man that I want you to introduce to the viewership. And also, as you introduce him, tell why you selected this young man.
Okay. So we have Alan Hatchett. He's a senior for us. We called him an old senior. He's an old senior for us. He's from Memphis, Tennessee. Alan is a jack of all trades type guy for us. But what he is he's very grounded. He has over a 4.0 GPA. He's one of all our kids are smart, but he's one of the more intelligent, more disciplined student athletes that we have on our team. And he makes sure that, I can't say too many bad things about Hatch, because he doesn't really do anything bad. I told him the other day, like, he does everything well. I just asked him to be more vocal, and that's something that he's really taken on and put that on his shoulders, as well as another one of his teammates to try to be a leader for us this year, because he's been through college and he understands what it's like to play in the league and the CIAA. And, we need that from him. We need that leadership. I need that leadership from him, because this is my first time being a head coach here at Claflin University, and he's been a student athlete here. So with his leadership, he's helped me out a lot as well. So that's one of the reasons why I chose him, because, like I said, he's a jack of all trades guy for us, but he's a leader for us first and foremost.
Welcome to the show, Alan. That's kind of hard to follow that. Coach kind of built you up pretty good there, didn't he?
Yeah, I got a lot to live up to right now.
Oh, well, how do you feel about coming into this season and under a new coach? What type of energy are you getting off the staff now and the team? How is that going?
So I'm excited for the year. Coach Dunlap, he's more of kind of the laid back type a little bit until it's time to turn it on. Then he becomes a whole different person. But mostly as far as the energy, our assistant coach, Coach Newton, he's the guy that brings the energy for us. Coach Dunlap, he's more, they play good and bad cop. Coach Dunlap sometimes is more laid back, more of a preacher type. And then Coach Newton, he's more of a get the guys going, get the troops rolling. But I'm excited for the year. We got a whole bunch of new players, a lot of older guys than we had last year. We got a lot of experience on the team, a lot of talent, and we feel like we have everything that we need to be very successful.
Coach, did he already peep your game card? Talking about you've got good cop, bad cop going on?
Yeah, he did. But hey, that's a good thing. We talked about earlier, being able to put your thumbprint on your team and hopefully learning your guys and the guys we're learning them as well. So, but we've done our good cop and bad cop routine here, and I'll say Hatch, he has me down. Yeah, I'm more the laid back. I'm not a rah-rah guy, but I'll get after you when I need to.
Ah, okay. See, Hatch, how quick you picked that up. Just took a couple months, right, to put that together.
It only took a couple of weeks to figure them out, really.
But how much of that is the stressing of your defensive pressure? How much of an adjustment is that? Each coach brings a different philosophy.
Oh, he stresses that a lot. We definitely aiming to be the top defensive team in the conference, and every day we work on defensive drills. He has a really solid defensive plan. He emphasizes us getting after pressure in the ball, especially when the ball's picked up. He really wants us to get after the opposing team and force turnovers so we can play fast. But yeah, every day in practice, that's one of the main things we emphasize, because I feel like we have enough to score already, especially with the way we want to play. It's stopping people, because of course you're not going to win without defense, and we can't. Not every night we're going to be able just to outscore people, so we have to get stops. We have to lock the floor down and prevent as much as we can, so that we can spread the game. We can spread our game more and stretch leads with our scoring.
But tell Coach, since he wasn't there last year, tell him some of the game. Now, all the games important, but I know you have to have one or two people that you're looking forward to playing this year from last year.
I'm looking forward to playing Fayetteville, and I'm looking forward to playing Virginia Union because we didn't win against them strictly because I just want to beat them. Like they're one of the more solid teams in the conference. And Fayetteville is because that's a little more of a personal thing. We always kind of get into it when we play them, and we really want to beat them, especially since they're always one of the top dogs in the conference.
Are those games that your students come out to see too?
I think last year when we played them, it was more so when everybody was back home. So students weren't on campus. So during those times, nobody really came to the game since everybody was going back home, and nobody really wants to stay here during our breaks. But I feel like if it's during times where students aren't at home, then our students would definitely come out to see that because they always want to see us play one of the better teams and upset them.
Who's Claflin's arch rival?
Arch rival, I think it's Winston-Salem. Because typically when we have a coach here, they either coach for them or they always it's always a dogfight when they go against them. And this year our coach used to coach for them, so I think it'll really be more of a rival game for us against Winston-Salem.
What would you tell a recruit that comes to Claflin that coach entrusts in your hands to take care of for the weekend? What would you tell him about coming to Claflin and what his experience would be like?
Be ready to work. Most definitely always come with your hard hat on. Be ready to work every day, which if you're going to college to play, you should expect that anyways. Enjoy yourself, but don't get crazy. Like coach always tells us that he remembers what it's like being a college athlete. He knows that we're going to want to be college students and every now and then go to an event or something, but that should never overtake what you got going on. It always should be business first. So like handle your business first, get your shots up, work out, do your classwork, and then you can have fun later. So just come with the right mindset, be ready to work, make sure you keep your business first, and don't let extracurriculars overtake your academics and your athletics, because like coach tells us all the time, he's only seen two ways you can burn a candle. You can burn a candle from the top and the bottom, and in this situation, that's athletics and academics. He's never seen three ways you can burn a candle, so you can't have all three. Something's going to have to suffer every now and then, and just understand that you're not going to be able to do everything that everybody else does. You're not going to be able to go party all night long, do all these extra stuff that everybody else does. You're going to have to sacrifice it if you want to be a great team or a great player.
Coach, you got another one. They say burn a candle from two ends. You hadn't seen that third side yet, huh?
That's right. Have not seen it.
Hatch, tell us about the relationship with you and your neighbor that's right next door to you. South Carolina State. Yeah.
So I used to go to South Carolina State my freshman year. I played there. Then I basically went all over the country from school to school until I ended back up here. But as far as the team, we play against every now and then in the summer we'll get together and just have open gym, play against the players across the gate. They're all cool guys. I've never actually had a conversation with the head coach, but from my interactions with him, he seemed like a real cool guy. I feel like they're going to be great this year. They have a solid team, new recruits. But overall, the team's just a great team. Coach is a great coach. Everybody's just there's real good vibes over there. And I enjoy whenever we link up to go against each other and get better.
The two campuses get along that close together?
Yeah, we get along. We're like friendly rivals. Like if we have an event at Claflin, we're trying to outdo State. If State has an event, they're trying to outdo us. But at the same time, we're all like a big happy family that we're like a team, to be honest. In practice, the teams when we're going against each other, we want to outdo each other and everything within the team. But at the same time, when we go out, we're all united. So that's how I feel like it is. I feel like whenever we're having our own individual events, we want to outdo each other, but at the same time, everybody really likes each other. We're like one big family.
Coach, Al's done a real good job of promoting your program. So tell me what you've identified as the strengths of your program, of your team so far. It's early. I know you haven't really tested them, but you have to go through this process. What are you seeing that you like in them that you're going to try to hang your hat on a little bit?
Well, the first thing I like is our guys are coachable. And as a former coach, that's a battle you don't want to have to go through on a daily basis. And I believe our guys not only coachable, but they're coachable also because they were hungry. They're hungry. Like they want to succeed. They want to taste of success. They want to taste an opportunity of walking in the games and being hunted, even though we're hunting right now. But they want to taste all that. And I believe the thing that our versatility, I think, is one of our biggest strengths. We have guys that can defend multiple positions, also as well as play multiple positions. Another thing that I've told the guys that I believe is a strength of ours, of our speed. I think we have really good overall team speed. Any combination that we put out there from a 1 through a 5, I think we can run and play at a pace that we want to play at. And then I think too, because of the guys' work ethic and them buying in and what they've done early in the preseason and even during the early practices, I think we have a chance to be a pretty good shooting team. As long as we share the ball like we've been doing and we make the extra pass and we continue to play for one another, I think it will show its head on the offensive side of the ball, and it would also show on the defensive side. I mean, as you know, as a former coach, defense is about effort and energy, but defense is also about being selfless. You have to be willing to put forth and exert every energy that you have, every possession defensively. And then if you can't do it anymore, ask to come out the game so somebody else on the team can do it. So I believe that. And then the other piece, I would say, our togetherness. I mean, our group really, I feel like our group really, really enjoys being around one another. And they enjoy our family atmosphere, and it's shown on the court. And I think that's going to help us, especially when the tough venues that we have within our schedule and the places that we have to play at. And when adversity hits, our togetherness and that toughness will be able to allow us to get over those bumps in the road.
Coach, that's pretty strong what you're saying there. Tell us a little bit about what makes Claflin that special place to be.
Well, it starts from the top. Dr. Warmack, our president, he was a former student athlete himself. He's a grinder. He's a go-getter. He still loves the hoop to this day. I mean, anytime he comes to the gym, we always want to make sure he got a suit on, because if he got on some gym shorts, all right, everybody, let's go play. So you got to be prepared for that. But he wants to win, and he wants Claflin to be not just in the top 10 every year, but the top HBCU and one of the top schools, not only in the state of South Carolina, but in the East Coast and in the country. So it starts with leadership from the top. Also from our athletic director, Mr. Tony O'Neill. He's a winner too. He's a former student athlete. He's won a national championship as a football player. So, he brings a great pedigree, and he understands winning on and off the court as well. So, Claflin, I think you get the best of both worlds, like we said earlier, about the prestige that we have from an academic standpoint. And then our athletics, we're going to continue to build on that and bring in the right student athletes and coach them up the way we know how to put them in successful situations so we can be a prestigious academic as well as prestigious athletic university. But it always starts at the top, and our administration is 100% behind our athletic department and what we're trying to do. And we're just going to try to make not only them proud, but the former Claflin alums proud, as well as the community of Orangeburg proud as well.
Okay. As we get closer and closer to the tip-off, what are you telling the new guys, Hatch, about being ready? What are you saying to them to help get them ready?
My bad. Ever since we started getting closer to our first tip-off game, which is Monday at home, I just tell them, like, come ready every day at practice. Like, bring the energy. Like, we should be excited. This is the first game a lot of us have played in a minute, and there's some guys we have that haven't played in like 2 years, so they should just be excited. But at the same time, take care of your body, be ready, stay hydrated, and don't let the outside noise get to you. Like, don't let, trying to impress other people, and don't let what other people say get to you. Just do what we do every day in practice, and we're going to be just fine.
Do you have to spend a lot of time talking to the new guys, trying to make sure you keep their head right before something happens and it gets back to coach?
Every now and then, we're all college guys. Every now and then, sometimes you just got to remind people, stay on top of their business. Every now and then, just remind them, make sure everything's handled so you don't have to hear coach mouth, and we don't have to, go through any unnecessary consequences or unnecessary obstacles, as coach like to say. But for the most part, everybody tends to handle their business. They stay out of trouble. We haven't had any serious issues on the team. It's just, every now and then we just have problems, just part of basketball, part of joining a new family, not any internal things, but just part of learning. And the good thing about coach, he always gives us a heads up beforehand, gives us a nice little warning so we can get our head on straight if we ever start, he sees that we're starting to veer off of our course. But for the most part, we don't have any issues like that. Everybody's pretty mature on the team. Everybody has a good head on their shoulders, and we just handle our business and try to stay on course.
Well, Hatch, I see you have about four teammates, about 6'8". Who you went in there and tried to dunk on?
All of them.
All of them.
They know I'm trying to.
Coach say all of them.
Yeah, all of them.
Coach, if he get that dunk on him, he don't let him live it down, does he?
No, I won't either. I'm with you. I'm all for the small guys dunking on the big guys.
Coach
point guard would be.
Coach know all. I'll say something if somebody try to dunk on me and it doesn't happen, or I try to dunk on them and I succeed. He'll know I'll say something to him every now and then. Yeah. I won't let him forget it either.
Mm-hmm.
Now, one thing I know from coaching is y'all remember every play in practice and go back to the dorm and remind everybody everything you did to them. Is that y'all still messing with each other after practice?
We don't even wait till we get to the dorm. We say it as soon as we're in the huddle.
Yeah, as soon as we break practice, it's talked about. But here's the thing about me though, and Hash knows this. I'm laid back, but I'm also sarcastic, so I don't miss moments either. So if it needs to be said, I'm gonna say it too. So I'm gonna jump on. I was a player too, so I'm gonna jump on with them.
Coach is definitely an instigator. Don't let him fool you. He'll definitely just be like, "Oh man, I saw that you got dunked on," or something like that. He'll definitely say some slick stuff.
Hey, that helps liven practice up.
Yeah, it definitely helps bring the energy, and it makes whoever it happens to, it makes them want to compete even more.
Yep.
And it's the same way watching game tape. It always amazed me how some of our guys could have trouble in a class. But having never seen the game tape and watching it when you first get on the bus and looking at it, they know every sequential play, what happened, what's getting ready to happen, who got dunked on, who got their rock stolen, who got their jump shot blocked. Look, you didn't know where you were going on the out of bounds play before it happens. It just always amazes me that y'all learn that.
Mm-hmm.
It's something about the game where we remember everything, especially the big things that happen.
Okay, tell me this. You say, I thought that the natural rivalry would be when y'all play Benedict because of the proximity. Y'all not being that far apart. How is that when you play Benedict?
So historically, I think Benedict actually is Claflin's rival. I've only played against them once, and truth be told, I can't exactly remember how it was. I'm pretty sure I remember it was a good turnout, but it was in the first semester, and we had a lot of games like back to back, and it was kind of hard to differentiate them because when I was getting used to the conference and a new team and a new atmosphere, a lot of those teams like ran close together, especially since a lot of teams were the same colors. And if I only played them once, most likely probably didn't register in my mind, and I didn't remember. I usually got to play them like 2 or 3 times before I really differentiate, unless it's just like Coach, outstanding. Yeah, it's outstanding, and I just have no choice but to remember.
So somebody outstanding, somebody went for 30 on you. Huh?
Nah, we go for 30 on somebody. If somebody goes for 30 on us, I try my best to forget about it.
Yeah, but
Okay.
I won't.
Okay, so we won't have to worry about a subsequent show when Coach is in here talking about who you played and say, man, Coach, you know that conversation we had on that first show about Hatch? Man, they didn't go for 30, but they went for 28 back to back on it.
Nah,
won't allow that to happen.
I don't know if that'll happen. I won't allow it to happen.
So
he'll lace up his sneakers and go try to guard him himself before he let that happen.
We would definitely have a game plan.
Oh, but tell me, Coach, with the season underway, what are you most excited about?
I'm excited for this group to go out here and showcase what we've been practicing, showcase the things that we've been emphasizing, the things that they've talked about amongst themselves and we've talked about collectively. I just want them to go out there and just and put it all on paper, so to speak, and put it on film and do it against others, but also do it in front of their peers, do it in front of their parents, and do it in front of our administration, and just show what we're going to bring. Like we talked about before, the exciting style, pleasing to the eye that we're going to try to bring, the attacking pressure, the attacking not only just pressure defensively, but offensively as well. And just them to go out there and have fun. You know, at the end of the day, as Coach Popovich used to say, it says it's just basketball. You know, we just happen to play a game, and we're going out here and we're going to do our best. And along the way, you know, we're going to do it together. So I'm excited for them to taste the success that I believe that we have an opportunity to have simply because of the work that they are putting in. And like I said, they're being coachable, they're being receptive, and they're trying to apply everything that we're throwing on them. And it's been a lot. I've thrown a lot on them, and I feel that we just going to go out there. They're going to go out there and play together and have fun doing it, and it's going to be exciting for them and everyone to watch.
Well said, Coach. Ladies and gentlemen, there you've heard it. You heard it straight from the man, the one who's blowing the whistle, calling the plays, getting them together. You got Mr. Confidence, Hatch, try to dunk on everybody. It's time to dunk on somebody in a different color uniform.
Yes, sir.
This is INSiiGHTS presenting the Claflin Athletic Show, sponsored by Tony T. Chrysler Dodge Ram of Orangeburg, South Carolina. When it's time for you to get a vehicle, if you got to tow it in, get it there. They got one for you. We always tell you, support the programs that support your programs. Ladies and gentlemen, we look forward to having the basketball team back again and to see how they're doing. We want to, need to make sure you go see them play when they're near your location, short drive away. Go see them. Holler for Hatch. Walk up, speak to Coach Dunlap. Claflin, the place you want to be. Thank y'all, gentlemen, for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Stay up to date with the latest from INSiiGHTS. Visit our website at insiightsROKU. 2 I's in the middle. INSiigHTS.
INSiiGHTS is the copyright of Mac4 Enterprises, a Florida corporation. This broadcast is produced under the exclusive ownership of Mac4 Enterprises and is the intellectual property and trademark of Mac4 Enterprises. Comments of the host and other individual speakers on INSiiGHTS represent the independent thoughts and representation.